How you doing, guys? This is BG Dino, and I am the Terradon Soldier. Sorry, guys, I've been gone for so long. I've been kind of under the weather, but good to seeing you guys. Today's review is going to be on the movie They Will Kill You. But first, let's watch this trailer. And great seeing you guys. Let's go.
And now for our feature presentation.
They Will Kill You is a 2026 horror that runs approximately an hour and 35 minutes long. Let's get into it. It begins where you meet two young sisters. You can tell that they're in distress by the way the movie begins. They're like standing in the middle of rain, staring into like an art gallery to some kind of store. And also, you know, they like kind of like looking around, looking all both ways, like they running from someone. So they begun to run into this gas station where the younger sister, I don't like using names because everybody gets confused with the names. So I'm going to say the older sister and the younger sister. I'm going to say the big Raves because their last name was Raves. So I'm going to say the older sister named Raves and the younger sister named Raves. That way we'll be able to stay on track of what's going on and want to stick on to the names. So anyway, while they was inside the little gas station, little store at, the little sister, she saw a snack that she wanted. And she asked the bigger sister, "Can we grab it?" And the older sister's like, "No, we need every penny we got. We got to try to make it to a certain city far away from here." And while they're in there, you notice this big, huge guy. He comes through the door and he's looking around like he's chasing after someone. And he asked the guy at the register, "Have you seen two young females come in here?" And of course, the guy at the register, he's like, "Yeah, they back there." So they hide in this little scene where he goes chasing the two girls. He was after the two girls, the two sisters. Trying to find out he was their father. He was an abusive father that like beat him and stuff like that, just treating them bad.
The fucker's got to go. Go! The fucker's got to go.
They didn't say anything about the blank, blank, blank. But they were saying that pretty much he was like abusive or he was like just really mean to them. Didn't feed them right, didn't treat them right. So anyway, they wanted to get away from him, pretty much. So once they ran out the door, he had someone else that was in his car to try to trap him down as they run out so he can grab him. So it was a crazy scene because he was kind of confused. It looked like something else was going on. So when the father finally, he caught up with them because like I said, he had someone in the parking lot to cut them off. I'm not going to give you everything blow by blow, but this part right here is kind of important. This is how the movie began. So once the father caught up with him, he actually grabbed the little sister. He had the little sister in his hand. And the bigger sister, she just happened to have a gun.
No, because I have a gun and I pop a cap in your ass.
And she said, "Let go of my sister," and she shot at him. And she shot him like somewhere in the chest, and you thought he was dead. But when he fell, he was actually holding on to the little sister, so he wouldn't let her go. And at just that particular time, for some reason, police and everything was coming around at that time. And you saw it, the older sister, she just takes off running, and then it blanks off. Then it shows the older sister, her name is Asia Rage. Asia Rage. That's the older sister name. I gotta use it now because I'm separating what's going on. Well, you seen the trailer. You seen the trailer how it began. Pretty much the trailer is what the movie's about. That's about me saying step by step. But if it had stuck to what the trailer was saying, I would love this movie. But it didn't. Because I'm about to jump right into it. Like I said, you saw what the trailer was. She went to the hotel. And the lady let her in, she told her name. But what you guys don't know unless you've seen the movie, because this is a spoiler review, is that she actually stole the identity from someone to get that job. You seen that right away because she showed the ID. And when the lady looked at the ID, she looked at her like, "Okay, well you going anyway, so you already seen what it's about." They want to make the maid come in so they can sacrifice her. You seen that from the trailers. That's why I always say sometimes the trailers show too much, you know, but I guess it's a movie from nowhere, so you got to be intrigued by something to want to even see it. So once you get in the room, you see this janitor type guy. he was asking inside the room she's supposed to stay in, and the lady, she said, "Why are you inside this room? I told you about being in this room." The guy you see in the trailer that's telling her about they're going to try to kill you, turn to find out that was the lady that was taking her around, the head person of the hotel. That was her husband. And you saw the trailer. They eventually come out of the room and try to attack her. And this right here was really good. I'm gonna tell you, when this happened, I was completely into the movie. When she attacked them, when they tried to attack her, and she just happened to go in the closet, and she had a shotgun and knives and everything. So I thought that was a little strange. Like, why would somebody go to a hotel with all that kind of stuff? But you'll just stick with me. You'll understand in a minute. So anyway, they get into the scene you saw where she cut the guy's leg and cut the guy's head off. It was a really brutal scene, blood everywhere, guts everywhere, cut slices. It was an action scene. I mean, this scene went on for probably I'd say about 7 minutes. This scene went on for about 7 minutes. I mean, slices, cuts, everything. So she finally makes it out the room to the hallway, and that's when you see the old lady stay out there, and she's more like,
Who the fuck are you?
then they do some like Kill Bill type thing where it shows her story of how she got right there. That kind of reminds me of Kill Bill because it got like chapters, how like what Kill Bill did. So this was going to be the explanation of chapter 1 of how she got to the hotel. So it shows that the father from the gunshot wound she did at the beginning, before they showed it at the hotel, because it was 10 years later when she got to the hotel. I'm sorry, I messed that little part out. Anyway, the father, he didn't die. And when the ambulance and the police were taking the father into the ambulance, of course they took the daughter and gave him to the father because that was actually his real child. And then, it shows her, she eventually got caught by the police and she had to go to jail. And this is why she was gone for so long. She had to go to jail for attempted, I think they gave her manslaughter, attempted manslaughter, and she never seen her sister again. But the whole time she was in jail, she'd been trying to find out information. She had a friend that was a private detective, and he was giving her a little information about, this the last place I seen your sister at, this another place we seen your sister at. So he was pretty much giving her the information of her sister. So while she was in jail, she made a plot of how she's going to find her sister. Last thing she known that her sister went to this particular big hotel that everybody say, people go missing in there once they go in. A lot of maids, a lot of help. They go in, they never come back out. So she made up a plan to find a way to get there. So she figured out it was a female that was about to start their job there by the name of Isabella. So she went and stole the girl's identity, and that's why she was at the door. And that's why when she opened the door, she looked at her funny like, oh, so you the new help? So obviously she must have met the person before. So it gets deeper than this. But this is what they stopped and showed. Like I said, it did like a Kill Bill scene. So it was showing a replay of how she got right there. So now we back to the scene when she's in the hallway. After the lady just asked her who she was. Then all of a sudden you see the people she just killed in the room come out into the hallway. One guy holding his head like he's Deadpool. The other guy leg gone, arm gone, all chopped up. To me, this right here is what destroyed the movie. Now,
I got a problem because I don't understand why you got to take something that's perfectly good and mess it up.
you seen the trailer. It was over 200 people, maybe, I'm not even going to say 2. Maybe 100 people in this hotel. If this would have left it like it was on the trailer, okay. They want to say, it's a plot that you've seen a million times. But it doesn't matter. That's like you getting a cherry popsicle from one company and getting it from another company. You just happen to like this company better. So well, it's the same thing. So, like I said, the plot was the same you probably seen it a million times. But they tried to be too smart with this movie. They took something that was perfectly good and destroyed it. And the reason why I say they destroyed it because now all of a sudden, because they say it's a list that you have, and if you got this list, of course you get riches. Okay, we've seen that before. We've seen that before. If you put your name on the list or sell your soul, you get riches and stuff like that. So everybody in the hotel that works there was rich, filthy rich, because they sold their soul. They had to put their name on a list. But this particular list, not only do you sell your soul, you become immortal. So this is why I think the movie made a bad turn at it. Because if you're going to have some immortal people that she's going to fight against, why do you got so many? I mean, come on now. We're talking about 100 people. It's like how one really regular human being is going to fight against a bunch of over 100 people that can't die. You cut their head up, they grow back like they were Men in Black or something. I think the movie really sunk down when that happened because, like, really now, who really cares about the plot? I mean, okay, there's a lot of scenes where she's fighting people that can come right back alive. One scene that was funny, okay, she blew one of the women's heads off with a double barrel shotgun, and it grew back on, like I said, like the thing off Men in Black when they get the head blow up, they grow right back. But she still was determined to try to find her sister in this place. So trying to find out, the sister, she went to the hotel because she had no other place to go. And some maids they don't decide to sacrifice. Some of them they allow to join their coming. And just what happened when her sister got there, one of the maids that was there was caught stealing. So of course, they killed her, and they was gonna let her take her spot.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
She get to live there forever and get to live forever. But she had to make a sacrifice. And the person that she's supposed to sacrifice was supposed to be the girl that her older sister stole the identity. Please don't get confused. If you just pay us attention. So remember, the older sister, she stole someone's identity to get in the hotel. That actual girl was supposed to be her sister's sacrifice. Please don't be confused. Just hear my words out clearly. And that right there was the reason why the sister was there. And you see the scene where she said, F you. And she said, F you. And then she punched her. Yeah. So this one list that they say have, so it gets to the point all the way at the end when you figure out what the list is. It's a big giant pig head. This is why I got the masked pig on, because everybody in the hotel that came after her, you saw that on the trailer, they wore masks with a pig head on. I don't know what's up with pigs lately in these horror movies. But pigs been very popular in horror movies lately. There's been at least 3 or 4 movies with pigs. I don't know what they're trying to say, but hey, whatever. So anyway, this disgusting pig head is sitting on a stick. And you can see it got names and stuff written all over. So this is where the list is at. If your name was able to get put on this pig head, because the pig had like a hook on his ear and it had like a pin. But it's more like a knife. So what it is, you have to cut yourself and then you have to put it in there with the blood. But you have to be offered to do it. You can't just do it. So while they there, they wake the pig head up. You see the Lord Demon. I guess it's this guy right here. Yeah, that dude. So I guess they worshippers are him. So he goes inside the pig head and the pig starts talking. It looks disgusting. So he telling her what to do. Okay, you have to kill her. You will do it. And anybody name on the list. So the older sister, she realized that, if the pig got somebody's name on it, the person lived forever. So the little sister, she was about to kill her older sister because she really wanted to do it. Well, she at least perceived like she wanted to do it. Trying to find out it was a big plot. She put her sister's name on it so she could live forever. Because her sister was all wounded. Like I said, she just fought over 100-something people trying to kill her. They can't die. So she got all kinds of wounds on her. So when her sister wrote it on there, her sister automatically started healing. And she's like, what the world? And then the sister, the guy, the pig was like, kill her. So she tried to kill her. And the other sister, she had tore a piece off the pig. The older sister, don't ask me how it happened. They got a bunch of confusion. I know, sorry, what happened. The pig head actually got on that lady, the head lady that was in the hallway, and he pretty much took over her body. So when they was fighting, so we talking about the devil took over. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The devil took over the pig head, got on the lady body, made her control him, and he was really a sucker. I mean, she was really whooping his butt. And the one part that I don't like, okay, they say, I remember the part in the hallway when she was asking them who the F was she, and then they show her, she was like, yeah. She was like, how'd you learn how to fight? And she said, in jail. Now see, I think they could have went deeper with that story. They wanted to play the Kill Bill role, but they didn't go all the way with it. That's the problem with this movie. This movie was too smart, but then too dumb on a lot of parts. You was right there where you could have used it. It could have been somebody that was in prison that, knew all kinds of martial art and could have trained her. I mean, even though it would have been corny, even though you've seen it a million times, it still would have worked. To me personally, that would have worked. I would have liked that better than for you to have a bunch of immortal people inside this hotel that she's fighting. Just off the fact that they had numbers, it would have been a good movie. They had over 100 people. They come. You saw the part where the maids was grabbing bats and clubs. If they just would have died when she killed them, that would have been great. That would have been a lot of kills, but like I said, they was being so smart, they was being stupid with some parts. Some parts they was trying to be too smart, In some parts, they were just being too stupid. So all in all, the pig, he eventually fights her. She rips the head off the lady. The lady, she gains her consciousness back. But of course, she's still evil. She's still trying to kill one of them. She don't even care at this point because both of them done betrayed them in her eyes, even though one of them was never with them. So the older sister, she figured out if she set the pig on fire, you could burn names off of it and rip. And she actually did something. She ripped a piece of skin off. So the piece of skin she ripped off was her sister's name on it. But her sister, hey, they told her to go ahead and kill your sister because you got to do it now because you wrote her name on it. So instead of her doing it, she took herself out, the younger sister, and she already had put the other sister name on the pig anyway. So the older sister, she was immortal, and then she took the little sister name. While she was doing something behind her back, she was actually, forging her little sister name on the pig instead of hers. So even though the little sister was dead, the pig, he goes crazy. Some kind of thing happened. He explodes. Everybody that worshiped him get destroyed. The people that was already dead, they stayed dead. They didn't come back anymore. To me, like I said, this movie was a waste. This movie could have been great if they just would have stopped one part and went a little bit more in a different way. It could have been great. They didn't show how she learned how to fight. All they showed was her in prison from the trailer you see. And when she said, I was in prison, and some women tried to jump her and she punched one and kicked one, but it never showed where she got these skills from. I think it would have been great if they would have. So all in all, how do I feel about this movie? I also got one important scene. At the very end, after the pig exploded and everything was over, the guy in the cab, the guy that she used as a private investigator to found the sister, he was actually waiting outside the hotel for her and her sister in the cab. And her sister had just split her throat, so she was dead. And she took her to the cab with the private investigator guy that's her friend. And as they was driving, the sister with the split throat, she sat up and she was back alive again. The cab driver was like, wow, what? She was just dead. Cause you remember the older sister, she forged her sister name on it, on the pig skin, so which made her immortal. So, I'm sorry guys, I forgot that one little small part. But it was a good small part, but it still didn't help the movie out because they already destroyed it. But I still had to put that part back in there because I actually forgot to tell you guys about it. Alright, carry on. Thank you. And my rating is going to be a 1.8. 1.8 out of 5.5 turn on soldiers. It started off, I was going to give it a 3.2 until they did that little twist where they made him immortal. Because before that, it was like great. Like the fighting scene, even though it was kind of cheesy, it kind of reminded me like the old kung fu movies and stuff like that. The old Japanese movies and things like that. It kind of reminds you of that. It was like a Kill Bill type movie. They talk trash and you fight. So that would have been great, if they left it like that. But when they decided to make these people immortal, when they come back, it was like pointless. And to me, I think that messes up the movie a whole lot. So like I said, a 1.8. That's all I'm going to give it, a 1.8 out of 5.5 turn on. So they messed up a completely good movie in my eyesight. Is it a date night movie? I guess so. Yeah, you probably can go on a date for that. Anything that's like moving, at least it wasn't boring. I will say that. I've never got bored by it. I didn't like the storyline. No, I didn't. I think it was wasted for sure. But it was never boring. It was always something going on. It was always some kind of little action scene going on. I don't think it's a waste when you want to say as far as action. No. But to me, I'm a movie critic. So I got to go up the storyline. Everything makes sense to me. But to someone who just want to go on a date, I always consider movies as date night things. That's why I go up. Should you take a date? Yeah, I think you'll be okay. I think this will be a pretty good date night. Even though it came out last week, I'm a little bit behind. I apologize, guys. I've been a little under the weather. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. A recap. I gave it a 1.8 out of 5.5 turn on soldiers. Yes, it could be a pretty good date night movie. I don't think it's a big waste. Like I said, it's always something going on. Time for my honorable mentions. Shout out to the Dante Show Network. Shout out to my buddy June 5th. Shout out to Miss Jersey. Subscribe to her channel, Forensic 8888. Check out my buddy Be Humble. Be Humble's podcast. Be Humble is an ex-military guy. He does a lot of military stories, A lot of funny military stories. This is a really good show. You can check these guys out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for sticking around. You guys really showed me a lot of support when I was sick. Even though I wasn't able to record, my voice was kind of gone. You know, I looked at you guys. You guys were still supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. My numbers were still going up. I really love you guys. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys. Please, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video. I really appreciate everything. Thank you. I love you. And please be safe. Thank you, guys. This is BG Dino, the Terminal Soldier. Salute. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys. Bye.